I'm your co-host, Samuel Richardson. Today's topic is trying new things. It's funny that I'm doing a show on trying new things because I have never been the one to just want to try anything new. My mom has always been the one that would tell me, try this out, try that out. Well, my parents really would be the one to tell me, try this out, try this out. My dad would be the one, try this sport, don't try this, but try this sport, do this, help me with this. My mom would be the one, try to sing, read a verse for the church, can you do a mission story for the church, can you do that type of stuff. And I've always been the one that would be like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, no, that's too bad, too many people watching. And now I really don't care because I realize that even though it's nervous you're nervous when you first start, when you get started with it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it wasn't that bad at all. Like the first time you saw me, I was very nervous. I did not know what to think, but once it finally got put out there, I realized that it shouldn't be as hard as I thought. And I am not, and see, I'm back. So I didn't just quit or nothing. I was like, I'm gonna keep on doing this as long as I can. But I'm not the type that's just jumping up and down. Ooh, there's a chance to do something, I want to do it. No. I'm just the one that'll be like, oh, you can do it. You want to do it? He wants to do it. But yeah. So if you ever feel like I don't want to do something because I don't know how people gonna feel, or I don't want to do this because it's too, I just don't want to do it, it's just too scary or something, don't worry, because as soon as you get started, if it's something good of course, but as soon as you get started, it'll work out. Today I'm here with Morgan Jones. Welcome back.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
So the topic of the show is trying new things. What comes to mind when you think about trying new things?
Well, new things are always kind of scary, so it's not, it's not something I'm jumping up and down about, but I have no problem with, trying new things, depending on what those things are.
So what comes to mind when you think about trying new things?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is actually trying new things can be scary. So depending on what they are, trying new things is always a difficult task or process to overcome.
What are some things that you've tried in the past that was new to you, or that you weren't sure that you could do and now you can?
Well, my first time babysitting, it wasn't necessarily a challenge, but it still was new to me because I love being with children, but at the same time it's like, wow, I'm here alone with a child and I have to make sure that they don't get in any trouble. So that in itself was a skill that I had to learn, and to interact with the child and make sure that the parents know that they're in good hands, because trusting somebody with your child is a very big responsibility.
So did you run into any problems while doing that?
Well, dealing with children, they're a busybody and they're always into something, so sometimes I do run into problems, sometimes I don't. It's nothing, of course, too big that I can't handle, but when you are really loving to a child and then you have to turn around and discipline them, it can kind of, it can be a challenge, especially, the really cute babies, and you're like, I don't want to be mean, but you have to sit down, and it can kind of be a different feeling, but it also gives me, a chance to be strong and, discipline them the way they need to be disciplined.
So what inspired you to start doing it?
To start babysitting? Well, like I said, I do love children. I just love being around children. They're so energetic and they always make you laugh no matter, what situation you're in. And so I wasn't, at the time, I believe I was 15 and I was old enough to get an actual job yet. So babysitting just seemed like a perfect fit. And with my neighborhood that I was living in, I could, go around and ask, hey, if you need a babysitter, I'm available. And it all just started from there. And I love it.
That's funny because I got started with my little, it didn't hit me until after you said that. I got started with my little job. My neighbor wanted me to mow his lawn, and I wasn't thinking, oh, I could just do that for a job, and now someone else is like, oh, you can mow my lawn too. I'm like, it's a miracle. So now it's like, that's one of my little side jobs that I can do until maybe I can turn 16 and get a real job next year. Maybe I'll keep on doing it through high school. I don't know.
It's always a good side job. Even my brother, who is he's 11, and he has a little side job. He actually take care of my neighbor's dogs while they were away. So there's never too early of an age to start learning new things, because my brother is not just, oh yeah, he's dog sitting. It's my brother was terrified of dogs. So to get used to dogs, and it's not just one dog. They have like 3 dogs, I believe, and they're energetic. And my brother, he's like, get back. So he had to learn new things, learn how to handle, a job that big, because she really didn't have anybody else to go to. So everybody can learn something new at any age.
When someone asks me to do something, I pretty much will do it now. At first I would be like, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to try. But if it's something that I'm like able to do, interested in doing, or capable of doing, I'm most likely gonna say yes, because it's no reason to say no. Especially if you're helping somebody. If I were you, I would never say no to anything I can do. Or, of course, interested in doing. If it's something you're not interested in doing, or you're not sure if you're able to do, I can understand you saying no, but you should always try something new if you are able to do it. And it's funny because I have always, I always enjoy it afterwards. Even with the show, it was not like I just signed up for a show or nothing. Someone asked me could I help them out, and someone asked my mom could I help them out, and my mom said yes, and I was like, huh? It just came out of nowhere. She's like, can you help so-and-so with the show? And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And now I'm loving it. But and some of my friends even want to get in. You're gonna see some of them later on. But yeah, so you should always try something new. But of course, if you're too far out your comfort zone, you gotta work your way up out of your comfort zone. Like, you don't need to just jump into trying to be on Broadway or something like that. You need to just first get on stage, then get backstage, then get on stage, then be the lead, then try. So you gotta work your way up. But you should always try new things.
Tune in to one of Jackson's newest radio station, WFNH 95.1 FM Radio, Jackson, Mississippi. CEO, founder, and president Deborah Gant. Or visit the radio website at www.3abnradio951.com.
I'm about to start painting the wall. At first this wall was red, and we already primed it and everything, so hopefully you'll get to the end results by the end of the show. So Diamond, since you haven't been on the show before, can you tell us your age, what school you go to, and what grade you're going to?
Well, I'm 15. I attend Columbus High, and I'm going to the 10th grade.
Okay. So the topic today is learning new things. So what comes to mind when you think of learning new things, trying new things?
Well, I feel like you should take risks and go try new things because you never know what you're missing out on. You can miss out on really big opportunities just because you wanted to lag behind and not take risks just because your friends are trying to do something new.
Solomon?
For me, it's more of getting out of your comfort zone. Pretty much.
So what are some things that y'all have tried in the past or recently?
Well, recently this year, I tried out for choir, and that was a really hard thing for me to do because I'm a really shy person. I was really intimidated by all the other kids, and I felt a lot of judgment and anxiety going to try out. But eventually, my best friend pushed me to go do it.
Okay. And Solomon?
I went to this Hobie. It's like a Hugh O'Brien leadership program. And it was different because you on campus, you by yourself, but meeting new people. And we did service, like community service and stuff. So it was different, but it was fun.
I can actually relate to both of those because when you was talking about in the choir, my mom pushed me to get in the choir. I did not want to do it. I was afraid of all the people in the crowd. And she was like, oh, just go do it. I'm like, no. And she basically put me in the choir. And so now I'm singing. I'm singing in about 3 choirs now, and I enjoy it. Every now and then I still kind of get nervous because I'm dealing with different people in each one, but it's pretty fun. And then when you was talking about the camp, I went to a Mississippi State camp, and we learned how to like build robots and stuff. Well, not build, yeah, build robots and program robots, and we got to stay there for about a week. I made some new friends. We saw each other every year ever since then. But we talk to each other still. But every year that they had the camp, we kept on seeing each other. But yeah, so I actually could relate to both of those. Trying something new is always tough, but it's not always just because you're nervous. It's also because sometimes you don't know how to do it. And so what I would do is, if you don't know how to do something but you want to learn, ask somebody how to do it. You can always just ask the person that's asking you to do it if they know how, or ask somebody that usually does it that does it all the time. Like for instance, whenever someone asks me to do something with a computer, now I'm able to do it. I'm able to help them out most of the time. But I learned that from my dad because he always helps me out with that. He always helps other people, and I'd always be like, "How did you do this? How did you do that? How's this work? How's that work?" And so it's now like my favorite thing to do is just help somebody out with a computer. And but you also, whenever you're trying something new, it needs to also be appropriate and pleasing to God, because you don't need, if someone tells you, hey, let's go smoke over here, yes, it's something new, but you shouldn't be trying to do it. Just because someone says you're able to do it, let's say you're able to do it, let's say your parents let you do it, if you're a Christian, you shouldn't be doing it. So you should always think, what would God do? What would Jesus do? What would God think about this? Because anytime you're trying something new, it needs to be something that you want to do or you want to try to do. But it also needs to be, before that, it also needs to be, does God want me to do this? So how did your brother get from being scared of dogs to just being able to take care of them?
Well, the owner of the dogs had a big part to play in it, because she came to him and she said, I'm going to be away, would you take care of my dogs? And of course, when compensation is involved, that kind of motivates you just a little bit. But she went over and she told them, she told him all of their names and what they do when to feed them and stuff. And they're trained dogs, are just very energetic. And so I guess when, she says sit, they sit or whatever. And he would go over to her house and she would basically train him to train them in a way, if that makes sense. So it was a lot of working, and of course he had to have the right mindset because he was afraid of dogs. He had to have the right mindset to go over there and not be scared, because even my first time going over there, I'm not scared of dogs, but if you're too energetic, it can just scare you a little bit. And with 3 dogs, I don't think I would have took the job either. Maybe, you never know when you put in that position, but he did it, and that's his little side job at 11 years old. So trying new things.
Wow. With me, someone would be like I wasn't scared to mow the lawn, no. But I had never really mowed the lawn until then.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, can you mow my lawn? It's twice a month or something like that. I'll pay you every 3 times. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's pretty good, but it's only every 3 times, so of course I have to wait. But I'm glad after I wait, because I feel very happy and proud of myself. So when it was funny when you said when money's involved, you kind of might do stuff. I was like, I don't want to mow a lawn. I'm getting paid.
Oh, that changes your mind a little bit.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna see how this works. And I've been doing it for about 2 years, 3 years. I can't tell.
Oh, that's good.
Tune in to one of Jackson's newest radio station, WFNH 95.1 FM Radio, Jackson, Mississippi. CEO, founder, and president, Deborah Gant. Or visit the radio website at www.3abnradio951.com.
So, did y'all run into any obstacles at any point?
Well, not really. Sometimes I was asked to do solos, but I didn't want to do it because I just felt like everybody would be judging me. I just felt this whole weight of anxiety when I went up there.
I mean, staying by yourself, but that wasn't just bad, but it was different. And meeting new people. to do it.
Okay. So what inspired you to try to do it? Like to do the to go to the camp and sing the choir?
Well, I just had to build up my confidence over time. I had to realize that people's opinions of me don't really matter. They're not going to benefit me in any way in the future, so I just had to get over it.
I kind of got pushed to do it. It wasn't really my choice. It was fun.
I've gotten pushed to do every single thing
That's
I've
how it
ever
is.
done.
It wasn't my choice.
So I could go there and actually that's funny because the next question is, have you been pushed to do
Yo,
it?
everything.
So I know your answer, but how about you?
Well, mainly my friends just pushed me to go do it.
Okay. So thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
So let's switch gears. I have never, ever volunteered to do anything. So, and everything I had to do, I've had to be pushed to do it. Like anything you could call out, the show, for instance, I had to get pushed to do it. Singing, I had to get pushed to do it. So my question is, have you ever been pushed to do anything?
I have been pushed to do a lot of things. Let's see. Well, a fun thing I had to get pushed to do was when I was on a trip with a group that I was in, and we were zip lining. And it wasn't very far off the ground, but you still literally almost had to get pushed to zip line. So, you know, things like that can be literally or, you know, figuratively. And I have to get pushed to do a lot of things. I like to act. So I wasn't necessarily shy, but being in front of a lot of people, it was just a different feeling, and I missed out a lot on a lot of plays that I could have been in because I was scared to try new things. And so I kind of had to get pushed a little bit by friends and family to go do that audition and to go do multiple auditions in order to get in that play. And I've been in a lot of plays since then, so it's always, you know, new things lead to other new things that lead to a hobby.
The thing is, trying new things is actually pretty good because my mom knew me pretty well and she was like, you need to try to get in the choir. You need to try these camps. She finally allowed me to start driving with the permit. But I was always like, I don't want to do it. I'm not too sure. Because I always felt like, I was always wondering what would other people think and or how many people would be looking at this and stuff. Now, as you can tell, I don't care. Do you know why you've always been the type just volunteer?
I think I just have to give credit to my mom. Even in churches, you know, when we have to do programs or you have to do an Easter poem or Easter speech or a Black History program, my mom was always the MC. And so I kind of always had to, all the children had to do a part. And there was no getting up there crying and then go sit back down. You get up there and you say what you have to say, and you better not read off the paper. So it was, my mom she helped me a lot in that way. And her personality and my personality we're not shy people. She was always the MC. She never had problems speaking in front of people, and she didn't want me to have that same fear, because I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that is one of the biggest fears in America, in the world, is just speaking in front of people. And she didn't want me to have that fear. So I don't have a problem speaking in front of people, and I'm not shy. So volunteering and just, hi, I'm Morgan, and, you know, meeting new people and trying new things has never been that hard of a thing for me. So whereas you can't see being able to go out and meet new people or do new things, I can't see not doing that. I can't see not, you know, going out and meeting new people or see them playing, and I'm like over here by myself. I can't really, you know, I can't relate to that. So it's cool being, you know, two different people and having two different mindsets of, you know, because I can't see where you're at, you can't see where I'm at, you know, it's just different.
Getting here different point of views, but
Yeah.
I've always been the one. It's funny that you said everything. I'm the opposite. I'm the complete opposite. It'll be like, I'll be the one sitting in the corner watching everybody.
And I'll be the one you're watching.
So have you ever been shy at all at any point?
That was one point in my life that I was kind of shy. I got bullied a little bit in middle school, and so when you're around a lot of people and you just hear whispers and laughs, you just automatically think it's about you, so you just kind of stay to yourself. Now, also in that period, if I were around a bunch of friends, you still saw my personality and how, how energetic I was, but me being by myself, not knowing anybody, I wasn't the type that to go up and talk to people because I feel like they were going to just talk about me. So that was a short period of time where I was like that, but at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with who you are and know that people are going to talk no matter where you are or, who you're around. So I guess around 8th grade, 9th grade, I stopped caring and I started going back to my old ways, and here I am.
I've pretty much been like that a lot of, since I'm gonna say 4th grade. Cause see, I was dealing with, I'm not gonna call it bullying, but it was like people just always talking about you and stuff, and then I get low, I just stopped, I just kind of beat myself more.
Yeah, so you think the more you back up, the less they'll talk.
And then I was in 6th grade, and all of a sudden I felt like I could be myself again, and then I changed schools again, and that's when everything kind of changed. I went back to how I was in 4th grade, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this, because if I walk up to this person, I'm walking away, and I hear my name, and I hear people talking about me, and I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it. So so ever since then, I've been trying to get back, because my mom's always like, I want to see the old Samuel. I'm like, yeah, I kind of do too, but I'm afraid that if I do, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, but
so
you can't be afraid.
I've been trying to get back to being just kind of, not free spirit, but being a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
But and out of my shell. But I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, it's coming. I can see it.
So thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.